Celluloid Psychosis. I am your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me as always is the very handsome, very British Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, I'm good. I am very good. Super excited to talk about the news today. Yeah, man, I'm good. I've had a really good week as well. Should we talk what's going on this week?
Yeah, let's just go right into it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, it was Halloween. Um, had a really good turnout here at my house. Trick or treaters set the house up out the front. Obviously,
Mhm.
trick or treat in the UK or Halloween in the UK is nowhere near as big as it is in America. But we do okay. We do okay. Some of my neighbours put little displays out the front as well. So we ended up with about 50 trick or treaters on Halloween night, which is really cool. Watched some movies as well. Finally caught up with Terrifier 3. And I've pre-ordered some stuff as well, which is probably going to get covered off later in this episode. But yeah, other than that, man, I've been watching movies. And yeah, not too much going on for me this week. How about yourself?
Well, as probably the viewers and listeners out here know, today, as of recording, is November 5th, 2024. It is election day here in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I went out and voted this morning, and I hope all of you Americans went out and did your duty as well. It's going to be an interesting one for sure. No matter what happens, tomorrow begins a very new chapter in America's life. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see how things progress. But doing a lot of pre-production at work, filming a commercial tomorrow up at Hyundai. Super excited about that. Got all of the people in on it, so I'll be able to not do it by myself. I got some production assistant folks and some really good actors, so I'm excited. I'm excited to get this ad spot done.
Mm-hmm.
But did some pre-orders like you, watched a ton of movies, including that He-Man documentary and a movie called Mad Props that I found on Tubi TV, and it is phenomenal. Both of those
Mm-hmm.
are absolutely phenomenal. Totally would recommend it. That He-Man documentary I got off of Vinegar Syndrome. It was one of their sub-labels, ETR Media. Speaking about Vinegar Syndrome, let's dip right into this week's Physical Media Roundup.
Mm-hmm.
Yee-hoo! Okay, Paul. So,
Yeah.
I'll let you start it off, and then I'll take it away.
All right, man. Let's start off in the UK with Film Treasures. So a fairly new label. Their next release is King of the Ants from 2003. And that is directed by Stuart Gordon. And that's a film I have not seen. I've seen the trailer. It looks quite interesting. Obviously, anything Stuart Gordon should be decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's getting a nice deluxe Blu-ray edition, hard box, booklet, all the good stuff. That's what Film Treasures do with their releases. They've only had a handful so far. Next up on the list, Synapse.
Is it Synapse? Synapse released it on their site, but it's
Okay.
Red Shirt Pictures.
Red Shirt Pictures.
Number 2.
Yeah. On the Synapse website. But yeah, Red Shirt Pictures. So finally, we are getting Trick or Treat, 1986's Trick or Treat. We're not talking the Sam one. We're talking the Ozzy Osbourne, Gene Simmons.
Publisher has found his white whale and has
Yep.
brought us to us in 4K UHD. It's fantastic.
Yep, it looks amazing. I've pre-ordered one myself. All the way, it's coming all the way from America to the UK. It's the first time ever in America that's got even a HD release, yet alone a 4K, isn't it? So the only Blu-ray release this film's ever had is in Germany, and that was for quite a few years ago now, and it's well out of print now. So that's huge. That's a huge release, and we'll talk a little bit about it in the news segment later on, I believe. And I'll carry on, shall I, with Retro Gold FE.
What is this?
Yeah. Nice German label, because I love my media books. They have got 4 new releases slated. A favourite of both of ours, TJ, is No Holds Barred, 1989's No Holds Barred, starring obviously Hulk Hogan, although in Germany this movie is called Der Hammer, or The Hammer. No idea why. 1976's Grizzly. Iron Angels, aka Angel, from 1987, and literally just announced today is Clint Howard in The Ice Cream Man. These are all coming to Blu-ray in lovely padded media books, so they'll be chunky. There'll be loads of info inside. It will be in German, but the disc importantly will be Region B. which is the best region. B stands for best. I think that's right, isn't it?
That's not how it goes. So, speaking of Region A, let's take things over to one of my favorites, and that is Vinegar Syndrome. So, we have been
Hmm.
blessed because it is a new month of November. So, we get a whole new slew of releases from Vinegar Syndrome. That includes Looking for Mr. Goodbar, Blood Tracks, which I ordered, and
Oh,
Black Eyed Susan, which also looks
yeah.
phenomenal. And of course, from Vinegar Syndrome Ultra line, Congo in 4K UHD, one of my late grandmother's favorite movies. We're finally
Mm,
getting the fucking thing. I'm excited. Paul, are
yeah.
you excited for Congo?
Yeah, I saw that in the cinema when it came out. I remember it's hyped as like the next
Mhm.
Jurassic Park. It was good. Obviously,
Those
Bruce Campbell.
monkeys are scary.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell's got a small role in it as well, so that was always cool for me. But yeah, and it's like you said, so that's the Vinegar Syndrome Ultra. Does that mean when they go all out on the
Yes, that is the
boys?
magnetic clasp. That is
Hmm.
different artwork within artwork within artwork. So
Hmm.
technically, you could probably do 3 different artworks in one release, which is probably what Trick or Treat should have done. Uh,
Hmm.
because so many people bought the movie 3 times,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is good for physical media. But if you package something like that with the artwork like Vinegar Syndrome does, then
Hmm.
you just get a one and done type deal. But anyway, I digress. I digress. Let's get on with some of this stuff.
Yep.
Yes. The Galzer video, Cannibal the Musical.
Hmm.
They put out a video on YouTube explaining how they restored that movie from a tape master because the 16 millimeter print is lost, I guess. That's pretty
Okay.
interesting. Uh,
Hmm.
Distripix, which is a new sub label. Ron Sullivan, the early years.
That's not the British snooker player, right?
No.
Okay.
Film Movement, 20,000 Species of Bees. Film Movement Classics, Takeshi Kintano?
Katana.
Gitano,
Yeah.
Double
Yeah.
Play, Violent Cop, and Boiling Point, which I bought, and
Hmm.
Bent. Cartoona, which is a new one, released
Hmm.
Adam Green's Aladdin. Is that Hatchet on Adam Green?
No, no.
No.
I did Google it, so I thought that myself. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay, but no, it's he's a musician,
Ah.
anti-folk music musician. I think it said on Google, so I was like, okay, that's new to me.
Up next is from Deck Analog, Adult Swim's Yule-log, which is an underrated masterpiece that
Hmm.
has never really got a physical release before and nobody talks about. And I think this is definitely one that Paul and I should talk about, especially when we get closer to the Christmas season, because it's just fucking absurd and I love it. Factory 25, Better Than Something, Jay Ria Tard? Is that how you say it?
I've got no idea. You're the
That's
expert.
his
You're the
name.
expert
That's his
on
name.
this
I don't
Vinegar
know.
Vinegar Syndrome stuff.
Yellow Veil Pictures, The Book of Birdie, which I ordered, Saturn's Core, Fatal Delusion, The Film Desk, Have a Nice Life,
Mhm.
Umbrella Entertainment, Hercules Returns.
Oh
From
yes, I remember when that film came out. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for that or have seen the film
It looks
before.
bonkers.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Canadian International Pictures is re-releasing Hitman Heart, Wrestling with Shadows. They given us a new slipcover, so I'm excited.
Okay. Have you
The
pre-ordered
art-
that one?
No, I did pre-order the next one, which is from ETR Media. I Am Santa Claus, the documentary about what mall Santas do the rest of the year, and it features Mick Foley trying to become a mall Santa. Really cool stuff. How could you
Nice.
not get
Yeah.
it? From Connie, we're getting the film Moral. From Big World Pictures, we're getting The Owners. From Utopia, we're getting Red Rooms, which I think I got. Dark Star, Reefer Madness, the movie musical. From Shudder, Shalom. From the American Genre Film Archive, Santa
Oh,
Claus Conquers the Martians and Other Holiday Hallucinations. So, to my understanding, this is not a restoration. This is a presentation of 2 prints of this film. There's an
okay.
unrestored version of, I believe, the 16, and then a
Yep.
tape rip that are both presented on this disc. Uh,
Mhm.
the 16 millimeter one, I guess, is pretty dirty, but it's kind of the thing with this film. That's the best you're kind of going to get. And it brings into argue of a preservation over restoration type thing of let's just get it out here so people can fucking see it. So I'm happy that this film's out here and
Mhm.
people can enjoy it. Paul, take over.
Scream Factory, they are releasing The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes,
which is the vampire. Is it not Nosferatu? Is it? It's just the vampire, like the
it
Legend
kind of
movie.
is.
Right? Yeah, yeah. It's like an early vampire movie. Well, I say early. It only came out last year. Uh, Something called John Carpenter's Vampires. I'm not quite sure what
Yes.
that movie is.
That
Finally getting
movie
a
gives me
4K.
some, mahogany, as
Yeah.
James Wood would say.
That is a great film. One of John Carpenter's finest, especially from his sort of later movies.
Mhm.
I count it as one of his later movies. Yeah, 4K. And we're getting Sanctum, or Sanctum, shall I say, from Scream Factory as well.
You know what came
Uh,
out today from Scream Factory, Paul?
yes.
Frankie Frico on Blu-ray. Here's a shameless plug. Look at this shit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this movie, go watch it. And we're talking about
Amazing
it next
movie.
week.
Absolutely.
So be sure to tune in to that review because we're gonna gush all over that thing.
Universal are releasing House MD, the complete series on Blu-ray. I'd imagine that is a lot of discs.
Mhm.
Lionsgate Home Entertainment, The Killer's Game from 2024, Kill Bill Volumes 1 and 2. I guess that's a double
Double!
set. And also from Quentin Tarantino, Jackie Brown coming in 4K. So that'll be cool. Dark Sky Films. They are releasing The Soul Eater in 4K.
Mhm.
Then we go on to Sony. Seinfeld, the complete series coming to Blu-ray
So,
um,
Blu-ray and 4K. The
and
Blu-ray
4K.
is different than the 4K, and I will tell you how. We are getting two different aspect ratios. So the Blu-ray will give you the full screen, what you see on Netflix or something like that. If you buy the
Right.
4K, you are then getting the original broadcast restored in the 4:3.
Interesting.
So they
Is that
give you options.
is that kind of like what they did with? I remember when Buffy the Vampire Slayer first
Mhm.
came onto, I think it was Netflix in HD. The first time I'd ever seen it in HD. It became widescreen, and suddenly you could see bits of cast and crew in the background where you could never get in the 4:3. But I think since then they edited them out again to
I guess
bring
it
out.
all depends on when the series was filmed. You
Yeah,
know,
because
it's
that
like
was early 90s, wasn't it? Buffy, I
see,
think.
because the whole case happens with a lot of these older shows. In the case of Alf, for sure, is a lot of these
Hmm.
were filmed directly on tape. So the
Hmm.
best art, like surviving elements, are just tape, and you're not going to get better than that. So that's kind of which sucks. But at the same time, there's things like this. Does this mean Seinfeld was shot on film?
I guess so.
Must.
I've never watched it. I've never watched Seinfeld.
What?
Sorry.
I named
Seen
the
clips.
episode after this announcement.
I know who he is. I've seen clips. But yeah, I've never actually sat down and watched the whole episode.
We
I
might
don't
have to
think
change that. We might
I
have to
don't think it
change
was that huge in the UK. I mean, I know
that.
of it. It was on TV, but I don't think it was huge.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Speaking of huge in the UK, Arrow Video.
Mm.
They have just announced The Usual Suspects coming to 4K. Uh, 2000's The Gift coming to 4K. That's a decent horror film. The Cell coming to 4K as well.
That's a
Jennifer
weird one,
Lopez.
isn't it?
Yeah, Jennifer Lopez, strange one. Incubus from 1966 coming to 4K. Always interested to see how those sort of really old films would look in
Mhm.
4K. Uh, Rampo Noir from 2005. I don't actually know what that one is, to be fair. But probably the one I'm most interested in from this batch of releases is The Inglorious Bastards, the 2009 Tarantino version, coming in a 4K collector's
Do
edition.
you notice what that announcement lacked? New
Uh,
restoration.
does it not
My
say?
fear is it's going to be using the same 2K scan that was
Right.
presented on the normal 4K disc that was released last year,
I was going to say this had a
upscaled to
4K.
4K.
Right.
That is my fear with this disc is that they're not doing an original restoration and giving us a true 4K of
Right.
this film.
It's going to have nice packaging, though.
Yeah, I mean, you can polish a turd all you want, but
Hmm. Hmm.
it's still a fucking turd.
Well, let's see. Yeah, okay. I didn't notice that, no. But yeah, I know it had a 4K release before. I didn't realize the first one wasn't that great.
Mhm.
Warner Archive, Black Eye from 1974.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Tool Target from 1951. Nora Prentice from 1947, The Spanish Main from 1945,
These are old.
and yeah, these are all old. A Night Full of Rain from 1978,
Mm.
the year I was born, and Mr. Lucky from 1943.
Fucking A.
Yeah. I know you've pre-ordered this next one. We're talking fabulous films. They are releasing Paddington Bear, the complete collection, new restorations of all 56 episodes, and 3 specials all coming
Did we
to
get a trailer
Blu-ray.
this week for Paddington in Peru,
The
or just a poster?
I've seen the poster. I haven't seen the trailer.
Okay. Well,
No.
stay tuned for information on that.
Yeah. Do you want to carry on? Film Masters are releasing Night of the Blood Beast, the 1958 classic, and Ginger in the Morning from 1974. Epic Pictures releasing Beezle, 2024's Beezle, which sounds evil, doesn't it? It's like Beelzebub. Is that like Beelzebub?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Second Run are releasing Fugitive Images, selected works by Andrea Luca Zimmerman, 2013 to 2019. So that is Tuscafar, Stories of the Street,
Nailed it.
Estate, Revere, Erase and Forget, and Here for Life.
Nice.
Yeah.
You want me to finish it off?
Go for it.
From Kit Parker Films, we're getting Set Up Westerns, which is a double feature featuring Apache rifles and Panhandle. Panhandles from 1948 and Apache rifles from 1960.
Are we still going? 1964. I can hear me, but I can't hear you, TJ. So shall I carry on? Dark Force Entertainment are releasing Terror Circus 50th anniversary.
He is.
He's back. Oh, who
Okay.
did it? I started carrying on then. I wasn't sure if you'd gone or.
Where were you?
No, I just literally started when you came back. So
Oh,
you
the
said
Get Carter thing?
You did Panhandle and Apache rifles.
Oh, you guys didn't hear the rest?
I didn't hear any of the rest. No.
Oh, okay. Dark Force Entertainment released Terror Circus 50th anniversary. Final Cut Entertainment from the UK did Fellini Satyricon in 1969. Cape Light Pictures, The Soul in 2024. The British Film Institute, Get Carter in 1971.
What a classic.
Is that one of your classics from over there?
It's just a classic. It's Michael Caine. So
okay.
Yeah.
Alfred and all that.
Yeah.
Paramount Home Media Distribution's doing Once Upon a Time in the West in 4K and Chinatown 4K. That's Polanski, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Entertainment and Video from the UK is doing The Count of Monte Cristo from 2024.
Yeah. I didn't even know that label was still going. Entertainment and Video was massive back in the VHS days.
Yeah.
Label. They used
That's
to release
cool.
everything.
Maybe
So,
they revived themselves.
That's what I'm thinking, because I haven't seen anything of that logo on in forever. So that's cool.
Fucking A. From Kino Lorber, we're getting Reindeer Games from 2000.
Yes. What a yeah.
Ray from 2004 in 4K UHD. Houseboat from 1958. Law and Order from 1932. Cherry 2000 from 1987.
Oh, that's a good film.
It is.
I like that film. Yeah.
The Killer is Loose from 1956. Finishing things off from Imprint Films Down Under. Directed by Roman Polanski, a box set that will feature 3 movies. Bitter Moon from 1992, Death and the Maiden from 1994, and The Ninth Gate from 1999.
Absolutely.
Transitioning to now in theaters. Paul, take it away.
Yeah, so we have Venom, The Last Dance. I've seen the trailer. That looks pretty good. I was pretty good fan of the first 2. It's not full-on Marvel, is it? It's a little bit different. But it looks decent from the trailer. Now, there's a film we talked about quite a long time ago. The first trailer for this came out, feels like ages ago, but Heretic is finally out in the cinemas. I think it came out actually Halloween night. That is the Hugh Grant horror movie. So it's not
is that A24?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's, Hugh Grant is a bad guy.
Definitely talked about it prior.
Yeah, definitely. It's such a long time ago that we talked about that, and now it's finally out. The Wild Robot is out now in the cinema. That's the animated film.
Mhm.
Red One. Now I watched the trailer for this. I don't know if
Looks
you've seen the trailer.
bonkers, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks totally crazy. Released a little early for Christmas. It's
The
obviously a Christmas
question
movie.
is what the fuck? What dirt does Dwayne Johnson
Yeah,
have on movie execs that they just keep make shitty movies?
yeah.
Like, come on now.
I mean, I don't know. This one looks good. I just think, is it not being released just a tiny bit early for Christmas? We've just crept into November. Um, but no, it does look good. It looks fun. It's also got Captain America in it as well. Um, so yeah, it looks big blockbuster movie for Christmas. I will definitely be checking that one out for sure. Uh, Smile 2. We're finally getting Smile 2. Now, the first one I thought was brilliant. This one does look really good as well. Anora is also in cinemas now. And now this next one, Jura number 2. So I've not heard of that film. So I watched the trailer, and man, that does look. I guess it's based on a true story.
Clint Eastwood's
Very
last
good.
movie, I think.
Yeah, yeah, directed by Clint Eastwood and starring. Oh, I forgot his name. The British guy from About a Boy. Him, I think. It looks really good. It looks one of those sort of. I believe it's a true story, judging by the
Mm.
trailer. And
Yeah, I haven't really looked into it other than I've seen some reviews
yeah,
and that
it's had
Clint
good
Eastwood
reviews.
made it.
Yeah, yeah, that
The
looks good.
people I saw review it maybe didn't like it all that much.
Okay. Well, it's got a
Yeah.
good trailer. I'll give it that. Here is now in cinemas or theaters, as you like to say. Uh,
Theater.
Theaters. We Live in Time. Robert Zemeckis.
Yes,
Back
that's the
to the
movie
future.
where it's a static shot the entire fucking time.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it. I watched the trailer and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
Tom
static
Hanks.
shot of a living room of a family progressing. So they buy the
Okay,
house, and you get to see
yeah,
this family live its entire life
right.
through
Because
that one shot.
yeah, the trailer starts off with Tom Hanks, obviously looking a lot younger. So I guess they've de-aged him, AI'd him, whatever. But yeah, okay, that kind of makes sense because he's also a very old man in the movie as well. Conclave is now in theaters. Absolution now in theaters. Hit Pig, new animated movie.
Mm.
A Real Pain. I don't actually know what that one is. A Real Pain and Whitebird. So yeah, there's stacked releases in the cinema right now, which is cool. Uh, should we move on to other movie news?
Yes. So
Yeah.
we mentioned earlier that Synapse/Red Shirt announced Trick or Treat, and then I also mentioned
Mhm.
that everyone and their sister bought 3 copies all at once because they offered 3 different, uh, art options.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that sold out very quickly. Hopefully, they do some
Mhm.
sort of standard edition
The
so
s
people who didn't buy it I definitely didn't go spend a bunch of money on Vinegar Syndrome stuff and then miss out on that. Anyway, yeah, I hope they do a standard edition or maybe just a standard blue, and we can get that out, Paul.
No, I think they should just stick to the limited, I reckon. Just so you don't get one or you pay an eBay scalper price.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. The Synapse site completely crashed as well when that went live. It went live. It's Halloween day itself, wasn't it? It went live. No, it was
Mhm.
before. Was it just before Halloween? So the Synapse site crashed straight away. Luckily, it was also being sold on Orbit DVD and one other retailer. But interestingly, Synapse would not ship to the UK. They were only shipped to North America. However,
Bastards.
Orbit DVD would ship to the UK, so I jumped right in there to grab
Did you buy
myself a
1 or
copy.
2?
I just bought one. I just
Proper
bought
man.
one. I went for cover C.
It's a good one.
Cover C, which is probably the slightly more traditional looking artwork, I would say.
Mhm.
It's interesting all these different artworks they do now because obviously media books come out in multiple covers. So we talked about Retro Gold FE earlier. They generally do 6 different artworks for their movie releases. So there are people out there that buy 6 copies of the same movie. And it must do well. It must do well. So yeah, it's no surprise that everyone's catching on to that. Um, but yeah, it's sold out. It's completely sold out now. So yeah, and it's Trick or Treat. It's 86's Trick or Treat. It's been such a long time coming, long rumored as well. But yeah, it's great to finally get it. I did have the German Blu-ray. I've already sold it on eBay to make way for this one. The German Blu-ray looks pretty good, but the sound quality wasn't great at all. It was muffled. So this one, I'm hoping is going to be the king.
I don't think Michael would let it leave his doors without it sounding 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. What other news we got, TJ?
So the Wayans are returning to Scary Movie after a long absence and
Yeah,
a big downturn in films. I mean, those last couple ones were shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they were only involved with the first two, weren't they?
Mhm.
I think the story goes they were kind of kicked out by they were kicked out of their own franchise by the studio. Was it Weinstein?
It
I
had to have
believe.
been the Weinsteins.
Yeah, so they literally lost control of their very own franchise, which is killer. And you could see the difference in the movies, the 3 and 4 that came out, nothing like 1 and 2. So yeah, that's super cool. I think that's really exciting. I can imagine them doing a really good new reboot or sequel with all
Mhm.
the new horror stuff that's come out since those movies. So yeah, I'm very excited to be checking that out.
So for the next one, let me reach over here into my library. This is getting adapted.
Yeah.
Well, the end of this is getting adapted, right, Paul?
Oh, so it's not a new Twilight movie.
No.
Ah.
That would explain the title. So at the end of this book, this
Mhm,
kind of takes all of your night, day, puts them all into
mhm,
one story. At the end, you get Twilight. You know what I mean?
mhm.
And that's what movie we're gonna get.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So this was written by George Romero, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. Um, and it's going to star Mila Jovovich, obviously
What is
very
that?
famous for another zombie series, the Resident Evil movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be directed by Brad Anderson. You know Brad Anderson? We covered one of his movies in one of our reviews. The very creepy, very scary Session 9.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
so that's interesting,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm interested to see how that pans out for sure. I don't know the
Spoiler
story.
alert, it's just a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah.
Alice shows up and fucks everything.
Set in an old abandoned asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next bit of news, Pinocchio Unstrung. So this is from the Pooniverse.
The Pooniverse.
So we had that Winnie the Pooh horror movie. We then had Winnie the Pooh. Is it Out for Blood or More Blood, the sequel? So obviously there's this weird craze going on at the moment where Disney are losing their IPs or they're becoming, what's the word, free. They're becoming free to anyone to use now. So the next one coming out or just been announced is Pinocchio. So we're getting Pinocchio and Strong, a horror movie. So straight away you imagine this is going to be some cheap and nasty horror movie like the Winnie the Pooh ones were. However, they have just cast Richard Brake, who's pretty much in every Rob Zombie movie at the moment. But also Robert England is going to be in this movie. So apparently Richard Brake's going to play uh, Pinocchio's dad, the guy that creates him. I forgot his name.
Geppetto.
Geppetto, that's it. And there's no word on which role Robert England's playing, so it might be a
I
cameo.
hope it's Geppetto. That'd be
Yeah.
so fucking funny, man.
So yeah,
Uh,
the Pooniverse. Can you believe it? The Pooniverse.
so we're speaking about zombie movies and we're talking about Mila Jovovich. So
Mhm.
she's married to Paul Anderson, right?
Is
No.
she?
No, who
I
is she
didn't.
married to? Resident Evil
Uh,
director guy, isn't she?
it wouldn't surprise me actually. That makes sense that she's
Who
been
the
in all
fuck
the
is Mila
movies.
Jovovich married to?
I guess you're going to Google it.
I am Googling it right now. She's Ukrainian. I forgot about that too. Yeah, she's married to Paul W.S. Anderson. Okay, yeah. See, I asked you and you don't even know. Okay, so speaking of zombie movies and all that
Mhm,
stuff, Mila Jovovich, Paul W.S. Anderson, they're married.
mhm.
Okay, like I just said there. So,
Yeah, yeah,
Paul W.S. Anderson has like adapted every video game thing ever. So he's
yeah.
doing House of the Dead. You know that movie that
Excellent.
we got from what is it, Yui Boy?
Uwe Boll. Yeah,
Yeah, he's doing another one, a cool one, a remake, one with a budget this time, and
yep,
maybe isn't super sleazy and a product of its time.
yeah. No,
I do like House of the Dead though.
I was about to say the same. I do like the original.
Yeah.
I'm obviously a huge, huge, huge Sega fan. So I was super excited when that movie came out.
Yeah, same here.
And I actually liked how I don't know if you remember, they cut in scenes of the video game.
Yes, kind of
It
like they
was
did at
super
the end of
cheesy.
the Doom game, the Doom
Yeah,
movie.
super
Yeah,
cheesy, super weird. When they're having a big fight with the zombies, it suddenly would just flash scenes of the game in
yeah.
there. It was just cool. I enjoyed it, and I loved the rave on the island. And there's just like a giant Sega logo on the stage. I just found that cool, and it was stupid, but I
Why
enjoyed it. And
haven't we got a Crazy Taxi movie yet?
yeah, who knows? That's coming out from Sega as well. They're doing a reboot of it, so it might happen. It might
Nicolas
happen.
Cage is the main character.
Yeah, or Robert De Niro.
Ooh.
You like doing that?
That went dark. Okay. So, Steven Soderbergh has blessed us with the full trailer for his upcoming film Presence, which
Mhm.
looks phenomenal, like outstanding.
Yeah.
It is a movie where we're seeing the point of view of the ghost
Mhm.
from my research, and that is super exciting. This is a guy who's done a lot of experimental stuff, has used iPhones and stuff, but I like that he uses Kyle MacLachlan, and
Mhm.
because Kyle MacLachlan's fucking class, baby. But
Yeah.
he's not in this. But there are some recognizable faces in this. Uh, it's shot in an interesting way because it is like that point of view thing going on.
Mhm.
Paul, what'd you think?
I think it looks different. It looks very different. Again, they released a teaser trailer for this way back in one of our early episodes, but it literally gave nothing away at all, like nothing. So to actually see a proper trailer now, yeah, I'm super excited. It's gonna be different. Steven Soderbergh's great as well. It's gonna be classy. So again, this is another one I'm excited to see the full movie. Do you want to grab that last piece of news? So, David Fincher is currently working on a 4K remaster of probably his best film, would you say? Fight Club, starring Brad Pitt. So that is being worked on by Fincher right now. Yeah, I'm super excited. I keep saying super excited. How many times have I said super excited in this episode?
I'd be drunk if I was drinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hot off the press. He's currently working on a 4K remaster of Fight Club. Long, long, long overdue. So yeah, that's super. I almost said it again. I literally almost said it
Super
again.
exciting. That's what we're
Super
gonna get our
excited.
first shirt for the podcast. It's like super exciting, Paul Evans.
Yeah,
Wait,
fantastic.
did you talk about Fight Club?
That's what I was just talking about.
Why would you do such a thing? Anyway.
I was super excited. That's why.
You know the first rule. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway. Let's go on to our recommendation of the week.
Hmm.
So, I watched a movie this week and it was fantastic. That is Roman
Hmm.
Polanski's. Is it the conclusion to his trilogy of like apartment trilogy? I think they call it. It's The Tenant from 1976, where Roman Polanski directs the fuck out of himself, going
Hmm.
bonkers in an apartment. I will not spoil shit because it is phenomenal. I just got the 4K of it. It is amazing. Roman Polanski, creepy fucking guy, does really creepy fucking shit. But you know what? Can make a good movie. Can make a
Hmm.
damn good movie. If you separate the art from the artist here, damn, The Tenant's good. Holy
Yeah.
shit, nobody talks about it. Paul, what's yours?
Fantastic. Mine is one that a lot of people have been talking about, and I
Everyone.
finally got to watch it. I'm talking about this year's The Substance, starring Demi Moore
Dennis
and
Quaid?
Dennis Quaid, and I was trying to remember the name of the other girl, Margaret Qualley, is it?
Something like that.
She was the girl in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with the toes,
Mm.
like the hippie girl. And this film absolutely blew me away. It's fantastic. Obviously, Demi Moore back in a starring role, which is great. Um, I don't want to spoil anything because I went into it.
Lots of butts.
Yeah, lots of butts.
Lots of body horror.
It's been classed as body horror, which is got by the
Reanimator
bucket load.
vibes.
Yeah, reanimated vibe. See, you're spoiling it now. I said I wasn't going to spoil it. But if you can imagine like a really classy version of Reanimator / Society,
Mhm.
But it's not just a horror film. It's literally it covers like how females have to deal with body shaming, aging, all that good stuff. Well, not so it's not good stuff. All that kind of stuff as they go through life. It's such a clever film. And you did mention it is full of butts as well, male, mostly female, but there is some male in there as well. There is a lot of nudity. So I watched it with my girlfriend, and she said almost straight away, "Huh, this must be directed by a man." And it is definitely not. It is directed by a woman. But yeah, it's clever. It's really clever. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's just got one of the craziest endings to a movie I've seen in a long time. And this easily goes in my top 3 films of this year, easy. And the great thing is my girlfriend loved it too. So not only is it body horror, gory, it's also got a really good storyline, and it covers off a lot of issues that people have to deal with day to day in society. So yeah, absolutely highly recommend it. It's in the cinemas now, or it is in the UK at least, but it's also streaming on a Mubi, for those that have got Mubi or got access to it. So yeah, check it out.
So to answer Joe Ridgely's question about the Superman doc, it is on Amazon Prime to rent right now.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's like $12.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about a physical release, but that's all that's out right now.
How much is that in Great British pounds?
If it's $12 US,
about $9.99, I'm guessing.
Is it that bad right now? There's no way.
Probably.
Okay, it's probably that bad right now. So next week, as we stated, it will be Frankie Frico.
Frankie Frico.
One of Paul and I's favorite films of the year.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about it. It's everything.
Can't either.
Yeah, it's dope.
I would never believe a film like this would get made in 2024. So
no,
I can't wait.
And it's everything we love, dude.
And it is a brand new release as well. It's cool to be talking about brand new. Yeah, exactly. So no spoilers today. We'll do it next week.
Well, now the question is, will next week's film be the first film with a 5 out of 5?
Tune in to find out.
Tune in to find out. And with that being said, if you like other shows just like this one, go to www.projectlouder.net and find a plethora of shows just like this. And you can listen to us on any podcast platform you can possibly find. We are definitely there. I am TJ Bowser. That is Paul Ashford. This has been Celluloid Psychosis, and we'll see you next week.